Well, it's December in Texas, about 72 as we get ready to start this hunt. The temperatures this week are going to go all over the map. By the time we're done on Friday, it's going to be lows in the 30s. We've got clouds and misty rain right now, and it's going to be bluebird skies later on. The conditions are really pretty awesome right now for Texas in this part of the world. The ranch property is really green right now. The deer are roaming from the neighbors to ours, back to another neighbors. I mean, the chasing is definitely going on right now everywhere. You're going to see fights, you're going to see deer scraping, you're going to see deer posturing, and the deer you saw on your scouting cameras for the day, they may be a mile away by tomorrow. That's just how it is when you're hunting the rut in Texas this time of the year. We've got about a 20, maybe gusting to 25-mile-an-hour southeast wind. And Steve's on the pipeline, which is the original pipeline here on the strip. And I mean, the wind will be coming across that whole pasture, hitting him right in the face. It's got a wide variety of bucks coming to it because there's a lot of does, and they're getting chased by the bucks. And we're not, but maybe, I don't know, 500-600 yards away on the other end of that same pipeline, right off of it, what we call the new field. The wind once again is hitting us, going out that way. We're hunting out of the new muddy 360 soft side that Gentry and Kevin and I just put together the other day, put on a trailer. We moved it out here about a week ago, and it's going to be a little warm in here. It's insulated, and it's still hot right now. I'm actually sweating a little bit, but as the day goes on, it'll cool down. I'm going to shoot the crossbow with the Garmin Zero on it. I mean, that's the best crossbow sight you can ever have if you're a crossbow hunter. So we're going to settle in, see what comes in, and hopefully get something to put on the meat pole.
I passed on a cold buck my first sit this trip. I had a deer in the rut, needed to be removed from the herd because we don't want him breeding. You know, he's just not going to pass on good, antler growing genes. And he was actually relatively calm in front of us for a period of time. Well, we decided we're going to go back to that same spot a few times, not to hunt him, but if he was going to come in, we're going to hunt him, right? He's going to be an opportunistic get because we'll still hunt a trophy buck, mature deer, but this one's got to go. It's a game. I don't mean to belittle the exercise by calling it a game, but it is fun. I just love being around them. I say it all the time. It sounds stupid coming out of my mouth again, but it's just so cool to be here and to be in a sit and have animals close by, whether it's at 15, 20, or 120 yards. It's fun for me.
It's a good night all in all. We had a doe and a little button buck come in early on, and then another doe. We had a pretty decent little buck come in, a 9-point with a big kicker that would have made him 10 on his left-hand side. He was pretty tempting, but I said, man, I know there's a lot better, but I know there's a lot worse. And I just kind of felt like on a first evening, I probably let that one go. And I might regret it, might not, you never know. And then we had another buck come in after that, young buck, and some more does. And then the sun kind of set, and we all came back. Now we're getting ready to grill some steaks. Angel's got some shrimp laid out inside. We've got more food than we can eat in 5 days, and this is only day one. So great start to the trip. So I think as the temperatures drop, it's even going to get better. Well, it's day 2. Temperatures are still pretty warm. There is a cold front supposed to hit midday today. I think temperatures, are going to drop significantly as we get to day 3, 4, and even the morning of day 5, which is our last hunt. We're going to hunt Little Perdido Creek this morning, which is a quad pod setup where we built a little blind yesterday on top of it to give us a little better cover, and we'll see what happens. I mean, the deer are ready. The scouting cameras are showing mixed action in different places because the deer are moving in a lot of different locations, and now it's just a matter of really making the good choice, getting the hot doe in the area and getting the buck to turn broadside, and we'll get a shot.
We're gonna head back to the same spot we were in last night called the Pipeline. Evidently there's a good 10 coming in, pretty regular, but it's a rut. Who knows? He could be miles from here by now, but could be a new buck in there. So we got a shooter deer in that call. We're hoping for something better for sure, but see if we can't get some does to draw on a good mature whitetail deer.
we're sitting up here and got in here real good, got in quiet. It was dead calm most all the morning. And we had a lot of does coming through, some small bucks rutting, chasing, pushing them around. We had one come in that I couldn't get repositioned to get a shot without spooking them. I had two does just staring us down the whole time, and I knew that if I tried to move in position, I'd have got busted. So I was hoping he would just slide over and I could raise up, but he ended up going off to parts unknown to go chase girls. We are basically looking at a cold front getting ready to roll in. The wind's going to really pick up. I think it'll be favorable for this spot. It'll be coming kind of right along that way, going back into that mesquite flat. Maybe Steve already knocked something down. I hadn't heard from them in a while, which means they're looking at something. Cows, pigs, deer, who knows?
Interesting morning. We had some cows. We had some does too, but I guess nothing. It was really slow. Expected to see some trolling deer, and we did. We had that cold buck actually back around, nose in the air. Had he come in, I would have tried to take him, but he had other things on his mind. But it's super slow right now. I have no idea what we'll do. This spot has had good deer movement up until the last several days, and it's slowed down everywhere on this property. That's a wrap for, I guess, my first morning, second sit, and we'll pack up and get out of here.
Going into the night hunt, I had kind of made my decision I was going to hunt this stand a minimum of 3 and maybe 4 times. I loved the traffic up and down that creek. I had lots of deer on scouting cameras that are in that area. You know, the middle field's not far away, the water trough isn't far away, the backfield's not far away. This kind of sits at the hub of all of those, and I knew anything could come down that creek, so I was comfortable going all in there. We set up for the evening hunt, really liked the changes that we made. It just seemed to hunt a lot more comfortable. Everything about that set was really good. We just didn't have a big shooter in there, and we're already making plans for our next deer hunt.
Slow sit. It just doesn't feel like there's any mature deer on their feet. Yeah, it's just slow going. I mean, we're counting on the weather a little bit to have tomorrow be better. Right at last light we had, well, we think we saw a forky come in. That tells you what the light was like. Had he come right in, we would have maybe had a shot, but we just watched a small little 7 or 8 leave with a doe that we thought came in with a forky, so who knows, but still not a shooter. Didn't feel like her looked like a mature buck, so I honestly don't know what we'll do in the morning. This was the hot spot coming in, but it's been pretty hot, like weather-wise. It's just been weird weather, so it's a rut. You never want to expect anything because chances are it won't go down the way you thought it would. You get lucky, and sometimes you just suffer long, slow sits where you're just surrounded by stupid does. We thought the does would work as bait. We thought we'd get some deer in here because the does were here, but that has not been the case. So they're not on their feet. They're not on their feet, at least not around here. So we'll talk it over with Wade and see what he recommends, and just see what the morning brings.
So our third set heading back to the quad, you know, the rut is just getting more and more intense, more deer chasing, more little bucks are showing up. I mean, there's a total harassment going on. I mean, the poor little doe, if it stops some little buck, a spike, a 4-point, 6-point, 8-point, it's popping out of the bushes and they're going off and chasing one way or the other. And when the two little bucks will run into each other, they're going to tussle for a little bit and then off they go again. And I mean, we're literally just kind of on point. I've already got the crossbow sitting out the window kind of because it's the best place for me. It's, you know, to be ready. And we're just sitting there kind of both just staring out in there. And now the sun's getting a little higher. And my biggest fear was how bright that sun was going to get for about 30 minutes on me in that blind. But there's really nothing I can do. I want to hunt here. And I know that sun, as it gets higher, I'll get more and more shade. Meh.
He's crushed. Well, shot felt good. I'm not sure he ran a lot further than I thought he should have. I mean, I've got the best crossbow scope in the market right here. Perfectly ranged. I got so nervous I didn't get my freaking safety off. Pulled the trigger, re-ranged him, he raised his head up. I grunted at him and it just, everything sure looked good on there. He kicked and everything went right through the brush. Ran straight away the whole direction right there. I mean, I love hunting in the rut. You just don't know what's going to show up, when it's going to show up, how it's going to go down, how fast it's going to go down. Gamble not coming back to this stand this morning. The sun, I mean, you can see I'm lit up like crazy right here. 34-yard shot. Just start rambling after you shoot one like that, though. Golly, I mean, he just kind of popped out of the creek. Some big old Wasatch Creek bottom right here, and he just kind of popped out of the creek right here at 20 yards. And I knew if I raised up, I was going to block him from where Gentry was trying to film. And he kind of nibbled on a few nuggets of corn we threw out, and then he was heading on out, go look for those, keep working on down the creek. And when he raised his head up out there and started walking away, I knew I had to keep ranging. And you know, you just hit this little button, and the scope is constantly ranging. But I knew once he got out there, boy, this ain't gonna last much longer. He was just gonna do that, and he kind of turned this way, turned that way, then he got his butt, and I kept ranging. Like I said, then I forgot to take safety off, got a little too excited, and then when it finally did, got everything set up, boom. So he was standing right in here. We had a pass through. We'd been looking for 3 or 4 minutes to find the arrow. I love lighted nocks. I know there's places you can't use them, but I love lighted nocks for this very reason. You can find the arrow a lot easier. There we go. Looks pink to me. Through there, we know we hit mid-body. We know we hit going forward. We feel like we got a double lung. We know he ran out that direction right there. So there it is right there. That's what we always want to find.
When you pull the trigger and you see an arrow or a bullet or whatever just disappear right when you're aiming, and you know you've got the vitals, that's one of the best feelings, because I want to do right by the deer. I mean, I've made enough bad shots in my life that I love when you make a perfect shot. And you can have the best equipment in the world, which I believe I do, and make a bad shot, because that equipment can only put your aiming point where it should go. You've got to hold it steady. You've got to hold the emotions together. You've got to draw the bow if you're a compound bow hunter. You've got to pull the trigger and not jerk it. You've got to do all those things right. And when it comes together and you know you've made a good shot, it is so exhilarating and so fun, and just share it and capture it on TV and share it around with everybody is just one of the coolest things and luckiest things that I get to do.
I was like, how did he go this far? But he sure made it a little good ways. What a cool 8-point. Oh, what a cool 8-point this is. I knew our shot was perfect, but sometimes they go further than you think they possibly can. Good old 8-point right here. I love these old 8s like this. He's been rubbing all over the mesquites down here in Texas, and I mean, that 10-point did some damage. That's gruesome right there. Good old buck. His hocks are all dirty. He's been doing the thing. I love 8-points like this, and I love to hunt them and fill the freezer. And the old 10-point Nitro 505 with that Garmin Zero combination just put it right where it had to. You know, when you look at that scope and what it does, that's the best on the market. You're gonna pay more, but you're gonna get more. Pinpoint accuracy, it's on you if you mess up, is what I always say. This guy's gonna eat good, and we're gonna have some stories to tell when everybody comes back in. That's why you hunt the rut, it's fun. Different deer showing up at all times.
All right, second morning, We're in the middle of the hunt. It's a rut, and it has not been productive so far. The deer we've been chasing out the pipeline stand, we think we got pictures of him, and we're gonna give it a rest for at least the morning. We're gonna go to a new spot, middle field, and there's probably gonna be, well, I'm not even gonna guess. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna jinx you know what, but we're gonna go sit, and we're gonna hopefully see what comes in. Again, it's a rut. You never know. We may get something from miles away just coming in looking for the new love of his life. And if he does that, good for us, maybe. We'll see.
If he gives us a shot, we'll shoot that dude. I don't feel horrible. I don't feel great. I never feel great after a shot. A little back, a little low.
I couldn't see it.
I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really a question, I guess. It was me second guessing myself, as I always do. I hit the deer. I don't know that I heard him crash, but I heard him running hard. Like he didn't slow down. But watching it back, we can't really tell where the arrow hit. He's kind of in the shade, and so we're gonna go put it on a big screen. Not be in a rush about anything. I feel sick. Just getting out of the blind. I'm gonna go check an area where he was hit, but probably not gonna track very much at all. We'll see if we see sign. Hopefully we do. All right, he's this way. I'm gonna go back there and look for my arrow. I don't see any sign, so that's not a good thing. We'll see if we find the arrow, what's on it, but I'm not feeling very good about any of this right now, to be honest with you. There's an arrow. Mr. Wade's not going to like to see that. That's super clean. That's him. No, there's meat and hair on the head. But I don't see much else anywhere on the arrow. I mean, it's really clean everywhere else. What in the heck? We gotta go look at it. We'll get with Wade and get the crew and take a look, make a plan. We'll be back out here in a little while. I just don't know if that means right away or if we're gonna give it time, but a lot of what we see on the big screen will help us determine that.
For an old mature buck, the amount he dropped, my shot might have been a little bit high, but had he stayed, it was a money shot, I think. It'd have been lethal. He dropped to the point where I barely nicked the top of his back. It's like he knew where it was, he knew exactly what he needed to do to get down low and to have it be non-lethal. Good for him, right? I mean, he wins. We don't come out here just to kill them, we come out here to best them. And we do that for a reason, which is to manage the herd and to put food in our plates and just to enjoy time with friends. I mean, there's a lot of reasons we're out here, but good for that deer.
Now, after reviewing the footage, it was determined that this buck ducked enough that it was a non-lethal hit, and in fact, the arrow barely grazed the back of the deer.
After my encounter with that buck who bested me at the middle field, I was down on myself, so I did move from the bow to the gun. And during a rut, it obviously afforded me a lot more opportunity to get out, right, to get some distance. And I had two things in mind. One, I want to give myself better chances, and two, because the deer I had just had that encounter with had been known to be in the backfield, we wanted to go to the backfield in case he decided to make an appearance so I could get another shot at it.
We already have deer in the field, a bunch of does. Actually, there's one bedded down in the middle of the field. A small little buck out there right now, but they're relaxed, they're eating. So, yeah, no, we'll score one for us this afternoon so far. Now it's time to just hang out and see what else comes in as the sun starts to go down. We got a couple, 2-3 hours of the light left, and fingers crossed that we get that deer I had an encounter with this morning come in, or something else. I do need to fill the freezer. I'm getting really, really low. I was sent with instructions to feed the family. It sounds like a joke. It actually isn't really one. I received such instructions. But, yeah, it's promising. It's fun to get into the stand. I already have deer in front of you. That's it from the backfield tonight. We had a good sit. It was fun. A lot of deer. It's always fun to sit in a place like this. You got a field and there's animals in it and they're chasing and doing rut-like things. We didn't really see any shooters. We had a deer out there that we couldn't tell if it was a 10 or 11. He never gave us a good enough look to really look at his horns, much less age him. Aging is tough in the rut. It's a bit of an art anyway. But I'd hope that deer deer I had an encounter with this morning might show up, because he's been back here before, but no luck on that. So we got one full day of hunting left. I know that the pipeline is still kind of on the top of the list because of the bucks that are coming in there, and it's supposed to get even cooler in the morning, but we'll talk over dinner about where we're going. It's a rut. It's hit or miss, quite literally sometimes.
Well, we're on the 4th day of our Texas rut hunt, and I'm on the bench this morning because we found success yesterday. Both Gentry and I will be sitting out, kind of doing some work around here. But what's happening really is the rut's really firing up. These deer are trailing hard now. It's cold this morning. They should be on their feet looking for does. Steve's going to go to the new field, setting a big old box blind. We've been seeing a lot there. It's actually the same field I set the first night. We just set in the bow hunting option of it, and this is going to be a pretty fun morning, and I kind of think something's going to be hitting the ground.
New field. Wait and see what came in this morning. Probably give it to about 9 o'clock. It's about 8:15 right now, and we were looking at a mature 8. Pretty good deer, older puffed up deer, not huge on horns, but he was rolling this field. He was pushing some deer around a little bit. Not a big bully, but we had a curveball thrown at us. A cow came in. So when the cow chased everything out but a doe and a couple of spikes, the game plan went back to meat in the freezer. Are you ready? Yeah. We did a little bit of management, took a doe. She was the only doe out in that field. We should have a doe down, and it's time to go look and make sure I have a decent shot and we can get her and get out of here. It's hard to see, but yeah, we got a sign. There's actually some meat and blood, both. Yep, right through the top of it. More meat. She ran right into that. She's right there. Yeah, we got a doe down. Thank goodness. I haven't had a high level of confidence in myself as of late, trying to do everything right, and thankfully this doe, I shot her a little lower than I wanted to, but she probably didn't go 60, 65 yards, so. Thank you.
You know, one notch for me, I've established a goal. I don't have a buck on the ground, but you know what? If the doe's all I end up with, that's okay. That's fine. I got a lot done, and I saw a lot and had a lot of fun. But we do have one more hunt left. We're gonna go back into the field tonight, and I'm going back to the place where I started. Back to the place where I saw that cull buck. Back to the place where we know there are a lot of mature, good-sized deer coming through, but it's a rut, so will they be there?
All right, well, assuming I don't try to get a last minute hunt in the morning before running to catch a flight, this will be my last sit for the rut in Texas this year. And we're going back to the place where we started, which is a pipeline stand. It's a box where first night we didn't see much except a cold deer. We remain hopeful that the shooter bucks that have been coming to the stand will show up. If they don't, and that cold buck does, we're gonna give a shot at him. footage.
Hang on. I can't see him now.
He's going back over here. He's going back to her. Get ready. He's coming back into her. You got him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I'll shoot when he gets broadside. I get it. Stop. Now. It's been a minute since I saw a deer go down after a shot. He's right there. He's right there. You sucker. Wow, deer in the rut. We just got a really, really nice deer on the ground in the rut in Texas. And he was just doing all kinds of ruddy deer things right before it too, including giving us a heart attack thinking he was leaving because of a doe. I don't know what to say. He's an 8-point we talked about. We were in the stand from the beginning of my hunt for either a 10-point or an 8-point that were coming in. And there's this forky call out here giving us fits too, but we got out here a little before 3 and at maybe 4 o'clock right now. Nuts. And we've got cameras of a 10-point at the stand up the road, up the pipeline here. It's my last hunt. It's my last evening. Are you kidding me? We thought we had a doe, and all of a sudden she jumps. I'm like, wait. Horns. I'm starting to get... And he gave me a great shot. He wasn't that far out, and we knew this thing was on. And he's over there. We're gonna collect him, put him in the wolf ring. Wow. That's good stuff. That's good stuff. That's a big, massive 8 mature deer. Am I right? He's going. Yes. Thank you. Nice job, dude.
That's awesome,
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, so Forky hasn't come in yet, but a big 8 did.
No. And did you shoot?
We had to wait a minute for him to get out there and give us a chance, but we did, and he's down within our eyesight, so we're done.
Congratulations.
Thank you, man. Wow. Yeah, I know you've been waiting on one of us hunters to do something right, too, so thank you. Congrats and thank you.
That's awesome. It always is good to hear the happy side. Are y'all just going to load him up and come back here? What do you want to do?
I think so. We're gonna go and recover him and stand over him for a minute, put our hands on him, talk about how cool he is, and then we'll get him in the Wolverine and bring him back. Yeah.
That's cool. I'll be here.
All right. We'll see you in a few. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, he's got the size of a small horse. Oh man, look at this dude. Oh, so cool. We knew him and a 10 were in this spot. He is massive. Look how big his body is. Probably the only mature, well, no, we've had a few small mature deer, but this is the only mature shooter buck we've had on the hoof in front of us all week. So, what a crazy hunt. We've only been in the stand for an hour, and this guy comes up and gives us a shot, gives me a shot, and thankfully I did the right thing. Very cool. I love all this gnarl. I don't know, it looks like he broke these off a long time ago. don't matter. Doesn't matter at all. Thank you, buddy. Texas rut. Never know where they're gonna be. You like to think you do until the rut starts, and then all goes out the window. Luckily for us, this guy blessed us with his presence.
Congratulations, Steve, on an exciting conclusion to your hunt down here in Texas. Now, speaking of conclusions, remember that deer Steve missed? Well, it just so happens he showed up at the back field during Chloe Giesche's hunt. Chloe is the daughter of cameraman Kevin Gieske, and she had the opportunity during her hunt to knock him down.
Did I get him?
You got it.
I did.
Completing yet another exciting entry into the Yamaha Whitetail Diaries.